Hi and welcome back. Let's learn how to make a very good CV for a foreign university application. Well, this is not the CV, so let's keep it aside and talk about the CV, which is, I would say, up to 25% of weightage in your foreign university application. Many people in India get confused between a CV used for a target university higher education purposes and a CV which is used for job purposes. So this video is exclusively about a CV which is required for higher education purposes. Now there are 3 or 4 very important points that you need to remember. A CV which is for higher education purpose has always to be relevant with the program that you're applying to and should start in that way as well. For example, if I'm applying for a finance program and I put finance related information that I have or experience that I have in 3rd or 4th or 5th paragraph, does not make any sense. So keep it on top. Even if I am a fresher, I'm applying for an analytics or international trade program or supply chain program, and I have some work experience of projects or internships related to that in my profile, I should mention that on top. Okay, so this is not a CV which is required for jobs related purposes in India. So you can tick off the information, for example, your address, your date of birth, your father and mother name, irrelevant information from that CV. Remove it. Start with always your relevant work experience or relevant knowledge. If you have certain work experience, start with that. Do not start with education, do not start with summary. First of all, do not keep any summary. Many people mention in their CV that, I'm looking forward to work in an organization where I can develop my personal and professional skills. Do not do that. It's not for job. Start with relevant experience or knowledge that you have. If you have experience, mention that. If you do not, if you are a fresher, you would have certainly done certain projects, gone through certain subjects in your university for the target program that you're applying to. So mention that. That's very important. Start with that, number 1. Number 2 should be your skills. Now in skills, a lot of people talk about leadership skills, managerial skills, communication skills, and trust me, all of that is already visible in your CV, in different activities that you have done in your essays, and communication skills can also be checked during your interview. You should avoid redundant information. Talk about tech skills that you have, talk about managerial skills that you have. If you're going to work in finance, you would be very much working on computer systems, so talk about the softwares that you're accustomed to. For example, if I want to work in international business, I should be talking about international communication skills that I have, linguistic skills that I have. If I'm planning to work in international finance, maybe I can talk about a couple of softwares, or Excel, which is very important. And Excel is not just related to one program. If you're proficient in Excel, mention that you are very or highly skilled in Microsoft Excel or some other softwares. So in skills, talk about these kind of things. And then talk about your education. If you're applying for a master's program, your high school information is irrelevant. So do not talk about your school, your subjects, your percentages. If you have lots of time, lots of space, if you have nothing else to mention, you can, but this is not recommended. Talk about your undergraduation marks, talk about your 1st and 2nd year marks. Maybe if you're a fresher and you do not have your final year mark sheet, you can also talk about your intermediate. But if you have work experience, do not focus on 10th or 12th. Okay, apart from that, you should be focusing on your interests and certifications, which is very important. So you have done certain certifications related to the program that you're going to. I always recommend people to go on MOOCs, edX, Coursera, do certain free certifications related to your program and mention that in your resume. If you're going for a supply chain program, maybe do a couple of SAP certifications. If you're going for international business, maybe do a couple of international trading or marketing certifications and mention that. And in your interest, do not mention cooking or music or traveling. These are very generic and cliche hobbies. Talk about, details. For example, if I love music, what kind of music? Maybe I can say that jazz music, soothes me. If I talk about writing or reading, you talk about what kind of genre you read. Maybe fiction novels, maybe technology books. If you talk about traveling, let's say traveling is your hobby and you just mentioned traveling, do not do that. Talk about places that you travel to. For example, you talk about coastal areas, you love going to coastal areas or something like that. So go in details in your interest in your hobbies section. Hobby is not the word that I would use in a CV. Interest sounds much better. Alright, And languages. If you're going for an international program, always, always, always talk about international languages. Even if you do not speak any international language, talk about first of all English, your mother tongue, whether it's Hindi or Kannada or Tamil. Mention that, mention the level, and mention the level of international language you speak. If you're B2 in German, mention B2 in German. But if you're not, at least mention that you're learning A1 or A2 level of French or Spanish or Mandarin or Russian or whatever language that you're learning. It enhances your profile. Now, go back to the first minute of the video and imagine what kind of CV you had, and now after 5-6 minutes, what kind of CV you might have. I am sure you would be able to inculcate the differences between the first 1 minute of CV and the last 60 minutes of CV that we are talking about right now. So I wish you all the best. Make a very good CV. Talk about these 5 or 6 key points. Start with work experience, relevant skills. Talk about education, skills, certifications that you have. Talk about your interest, and of course talk about your languages that you speak. I wish you all the best. See you soon in world's finest universities abroad. Share this with your friends and tag your friends, because there are many people who might be proceeding ahead with the wrong CV format or wrong information that they are putting, and they might be looking for some assistance. So if you share this video with them, I think this would be very beneficial for them and us as well. Thank you so much. Have a great day, and God bless you.